Doge has been seeing a massive pump over the last couple of weeks. Many people are calling for $1 right now and I actually believe that that could be true. In this video, I'm exactly going to explain when Doge is going to hit $1, how Doge is going to hit $1, and what the best way is to profit from the move towards $1 for one Dogecoin. Let's make sure that we do a top-down analysis and start off on a monthly time frame. What I really like about a monthly time frame is that when we look at this massive green candle over here that was formed a couple of months ago, over the last couple of months afterwards, Dogecoin has completely retraced that bullish candlestick. It took out the low of the massive bullish candlestick, as you guys can see, during the month of April, and while taking out that massive low, it was also tapping into this bullish monthly fair value gap. Now, this bullish monthly fair value gap was also aligning with this high time frame demand area right over here for the price of Doge. That's your alarm. Are you still paying attention? Are you writing down notes? Let me know in the comments down below what educational trading topic I should be making a video on next. During these two monthly candles, this is where a lot of demand was coming into the market that was fueling that impulse towards the upside right over here. Meaning that obviously when we look at this massive impulse to the upside, there was obviously a lot of demand coming into the market, because if not, we can't see an impulse like that. Now, the bullish demand area in confluence with a bullish monthly fair value gap was holding the price of Dogecoin. Now, that is something that I really like. Afterwards, we were seeing a push towards the upside, and what I really like about the current candlestick pattern is that, first of all, look at this candlestick right over here. We can see that it's a bearish hammer candlestick. Now, when we look at a bearish hammer candlestick like this, and a bearish hammer candlestick is being followed by a sweep of that low, but then afterwards we can see that this candle during the month of June failed to close below the previous candle. So it was basically swing failing the low of the bearish hammer candlestick. Now, the current monthly close for Dogecoin is going to be very pivotal if it wants to keep its momentum towards the upside, towards brand new all-time highs and beyond. Because the next monthly candle, we want to close above that bearish hammer candlestick. We don't once again want to close it below and also swing fill the top of that candle. No, I want this monthly candle that is going to close in a week from now to close above the top of the bearish hammer candlestick. And now, trade signals, educational live streams, educational PDFs, a guide on how to build a long-term investment portfolio, and so much more, all these days for the price of just $1. 14 days of access to Tribe Capital, the community that I was just speaking about, and all that you guys have to do is follow the first link in the description down below, pay just $1, and test us out for 40 days, basically for free. And I'll catch you guys there. When we look at the monthly timing and distance statistics for Dogecoin, we can see that they are rather bullish and that there's still a decent probability for new monthly highs. Because what we can see is that based on both timing and distance, there is a 0% probability that the monthly low is going to get taken out from here. So there's a 0% probability that during the current monthly candle, the monthly low will get taken out. Meaning that it's likely gonna hold, of course. At the exact same time, based on timing of price, there is still a 59.2% probability that Dogecoin is gonna form a new second pivot for the monthly candle after July the 21st. So currently the monthly high was formed on July the 21st at 5 p.m. UTC time, but 59.2% of months over the last 5 years of data on Doge are forming a pivot after that exact time, meaning there's still a high probability to form a new high, since we can assume that the monthly low is going to hold. And also 20% of months over the last 5 years of data have seen a bigger move towards the upside compared to the current move of 84% that we have seen so far this month, meaning that there's an extremely high probability to hold the monthly low during the current monthly candle, and we still have a week left to make new monthly highs. Now, if we indeed will make new monthly highs, which seems still quite likely for Doge, it means that it's very likely that the current monthly candle is indeed going to close above the top of the bearish hammer candlestick. And now if that happens, there's a lot of momentum flowing into the market for Dogecoin. Another reason why I'm expecting higher prices for the price of Dogecoin is due to this massive wick that we can see over here on the weekly time frame near the previous all-time high. We can see that we formed a massive wick and then started the massive bear market for the price of Doge. Now we know that these massive wicks, they are a draw on liquidity, and we know especially the 50% wick fill level is going to act as a massive draw on liquidity, which is around 65 cents. Now, why are these wicks a massive draw on liquidity? Because a wick is basically indicating too fast of a price movement. And now if price moves too fast, The market makers, the smart money, the bigger players in this market, they don't get the time to fill, in this case, their sell orders. So what do? They push the price back towards the area of that wick to then still fill their sell orders or their buy orders, of course, but in this case, their sell orders, before that actually reversing the price towards the downside. Because smart money and the bigger players are not gonna let the market fully die without them being able to sell. So this massive wick on a weekly time frame, especially that 50% EQ level of that wick, is acting as a massive draw on liquidity. Now what I think is also rather bullish for Dogecoin, and you guys know that I don't really like trend lines unless they happen on a very high time frame, is this weekly trend line right over here. And now what I like about this trend line is not the fact that it was holding the price once, twice, 3 times, 4 and 5 times for Doge. No, what I really like about this trend line for Doge and why I think it's actually worth noticing is due to this deviation below the trend line right over here, and that is extremely bullish. Now the fact that it was holding the price afterwards once and twice more is rather bullish in my opinion. There's another trend line that I'm definitely eyeing up over here as well. It's this trend line over here, because what we can see is that now price is potentially deviating above that trend line over here. Once again guys, just like that I want to see a monthly close above the previous monthly high that I just discussed on Doge, I also want to see Doge open and close a weekly candle above this trend line over here to fully confirm the breakout, then see a bullish retest, and then it is off towards 65 cents and probably even towards $1 for one Dogecoin. Now we get to the most important part, because everyone is wondering, but Jip, we are trading around 25 cents, we are expecting a move towards $1, how am I going to profit from this one? Now, when we look at the daily structure, it is extremely clean, and I have an extremely strong invalidation for my bullish thesis, and will exactly explain to you guys why and what kind of long position that you can take on Dogecoin. Because what we can see is that first of all, Doge was in a downtrend right over here, forming lower lows and forming lower highs. We can see that right over here, Dogecoin took out a major sell liquidity right beneath the low of that massive impulse, and then after taking out that liquidity, we were seeing a significant break of structure towards the upside over here, breaking through this significant high. Now this was a significant high to break over here because it brought us to a lower low over here compared to this low that brought us to that high, therefore a significant high to break. We swept into that massive liquidity pool once, and therefore it's a significant break of structure, and this was a strong invalidation for a bullish thesis. But afterwards, and this is very interesting, the price of Dogecoin started this local uptrend over here. Now this local uptrend had this fake break of structure and this fake break of structure. Why were these fake break of structures and not valid break of structures? Because price was breaking through insignificant highs. These were insignificant highs because the high only brought us to a higher low and another higher low instead of lower lows, okay? And therefore insignificant highs to break. Therefore, these fake break of structures were engineering liquidity beneath this low and also engineering liquidity beneath this low. Then price of Doge saw an aggressive push to the downside right over here, taking out all of that sell liquidity, and then afterwards it started trading back above that high. Guys, as you guys know, if you have been following me for a long period of time, this is what I call my favorite continuation structure. A massive sign of strength by the bulls, for example, also breaking through this massive bearish fair value gap over here, and bulls taking back control, meaning that the invalidation for my bullish thesis on Doge is below this low over here, around 14 cents, and that you can long any pullback you want with as a final target $1 for one Dogecoin. So for example, let's say I open up a massive swing long position at the current market price for Dogecoin with my invalidation below 14 cents over here, targeting $1, which I expect to get hit over the coming months, then I'm already targeting a massive RR of 6.37. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did enjoy today's video, smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, and then I'll catch you guys on the next one. Ciao, ciao!